Welcome. Talo.
These days, and I was thinking about it on the way here, there is no better time to get into IT in New Zealand.
Yeah.
There is no better time, right? But you have to work for it, right?
Yeah.
I think me doing the education stuff by myself and putting myself through, and it wasn't that long, right? But it was pretty expensive. But it didn't take me that long to get to a position where I'd done something that I could then go and say to the organization, well, I've done this training.
Yeah.
You know, I can do this job, right? Just let me do it. I can do it. So you have to do a little bit to get you there.
Yeah.
But right now, with New Zealanders and organizations not being able to get staff, you know, people are just like, you know, I'm getting second level engineers that are applying for roles like architect roles and stuff like that because they can, right? You know, and I'm like, I'm looking at your experience here, and you're saying you're an architect. You know, you just come off the service desk, right? You know, how does that relate? And they're saying, well, if you don't pay it, you know, I've already got 2 offers at the moment. You know, and I'm like, holy camole.
Yeah.
So I don't think. You know, and the reason why I say this is I don't think it's a Pasifika thing, right? Because I think that the Pasifika thing is a bonus, right? Because as you build teams and you know, if you just look at the culture of Pasifika. It's all about the village, right?
Yeah.
It's all about us coming together and, you know, looking after each other. It's that we've still got that village mentality, and I think that's a bonus, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what I look for. I look for, will you be part of my team? How will you fit into my team, right? You know, will you be there standing beside the rest of us when the shit hits the fan? You know, and a lot of that happens in IT, right?
Yeah.
We don't always get it right, but when we get it wrong, man, things happen.
You know about it.
That's right. You know, you want to look across the table at 3:00 in the morning and see your mates sitting there going, "Yep, cool, we got this.
Yeah.
We'll sort it out." So I think there is no better time to get into IT. Organizations will just lap you up.
Yeah.
But you have to put in a little bit of work, right?
Yeah,
you have to be able to go in and say, hey, look, I've done some of the study, or I've done an internship at this organization in IT and that sort of stuff. Yeah. And they'll take you, man. They'll take you.
That's interesting insight, how you talk about, you know, these guys coming, you know, second level and trying to go for these higher roles. What does the landscape look like though? Like, how many Pasifika or Māori applications do you actually get?
None. Not many, right? I get a lot of Asian, you know, Indian and Asian candidates coming through. I get a lot of people that have been in IT for a while. So, you know, the Caucasian male that's been in there for a long time, knows their stuff, you know, long in the tooth, but are thinking now, holy hell, look at all of this money being thrown around. I'll just start, you know.
Changing it up.
Changing it up and so forth. But,
senior consultant.
Yeah, exactly. Senior consultant. But not many Pasifika at all. I think, you know, I've seen a few come out of grad programs.
Yeah.
And so when I was at Auckland Transport, one of the things that I was very conscious of was identifying the Pasifika students coming out and going, cool, we need to make sure that we give these guys a go, right?
Yeah.
And so when we were going through, and it was a long period of putting the students or the candidates through simulations and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. But my eye was always towards the, you know, hey, what's the sister doing over there? What's the brother doing over there? And you can tell that they've gone through that sort of higher education that I didn't go through. And so they come out of that with, you know, being very articulate, being very conscious of how they collaborate with others and all that sort of stuff, right? So they are equal, right? There is nothing holding them back at all. So I think, we just need to get more through that, get them through that system to get to that position where they are competing on a level playing field.
And I think that's one of the struggles that I guess the purpose of this is trying to get that out there, because to me it just feels like it's something. It just doesn't feel relevant to our people, or it just doesn't seem to be a drive. Like, the numbers are astounding when you look at 2019 survey, 114,000 people in IT, only 2.8% PI. And
I think it's that sort of gateway, right? It's the how do we get them at an early enough age that they don't get discouraged later on in life to go, oh, that's too hard. How do you get them at an early age that they play with the computers and all that sort of stuff, just like the other privileged white kids were able to do at the same age, right?
Yeah.
They had the computer, they had the ability to break it and refix it and do stuff and ask Dad for some money so that he could buy another hard drive and all that sort of stuff. The island kid broke it, he got a slap.
Yeah. And it was over.
Get on it. So it was that the ability to do that just put them on a different, so that they got a little bit older. They started playing with their other friends that had computers. They built little LANs. They they played their little games and stuff like that. Whereas the Pacific Islander kids didn't have that, right? So their paths, when they got to the same sort of age where they were looking at IT, they were like, too hard. Well, I'll go and try something else, right?
Yeah.
So I think we need to look at how do we make it easier, and it is getting easier. I think for the kids to get into IT, but I think IT is also getting easier for everyone else to get into as well.
Yeah.
Right. It's not sort of that elite sort of shit, you work in computers. Wow, you must be brainy.
Exactly.
It's not like that anymore, right?